Oh man, here we are. Like it says in the title, we don't know what we're doing. Who does? Well, I'm just gonna get comfortable because I'm not used to anybody being here, and I'm not used to anybody not being here. So I'm just gonna be and do what I do, whatever that is. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Normally, you're not supposed to do readings if you're intoxicated, right? But who is it? Who's sober and who's not? I mean, what's intoxication? Especially since it's been deemed this is one of 8 nights of intoxication. And if you can't be straight when you're what's straight? It's got to be all the time, regardless of the change. There's no change. So is equal. Because the mind is ultimately all states and not of any state necessarily. How can the mind be the ground and call the ground up? Or lay it down when it can't see where it's going and call its own name? If it didn't have its own representation to come up. So I haven't had anything to drink yet. Just shuffled the cards 2 times each deck, and I don't know. We're just doing what we do. I don't know if I can see any comments or anything like that. So I'm just gonna see where we're at tonight. Get some Pinot Grigio with a golden apple core in it from earlier, which made me think about when I ate this apple. I was thinking about how in the garden there's an apple, right? But knowledge is what we all need, but then that ends up being the thing that confuses and divides everyone. And once you know something, then you tell somebody and they're like, nah, it's not it. Even if it is it, and then they'll go against you, or if they try it, it'll work out different for them, or they'll see it differently, or whatever the case may be. But there's also this other part. Well, once you eat the whole apple, what's left? The core. And what's in the core but the seeds? And what is in apple seeds? They're coated in arsenic. And so, as it said, that the cure for every poison is in the poison itself, or however that's so eloquently said properly. Oops, still got a sticker on it. So that's why we can't run away from ourselves and just go, oh, I'm just doing this because I don't know why I'm doing it, because somebody offered it to me. I don't know, and play stupid, and then all of a sudden be like, oh, that's bad, and then go around and tell everybody what to do. Right? That's like the meaning of a hypocrite, but that's kind of what everybody sort of does. And it's natural, but it's best to be like, well, if it comes up, then, well, my experience is, or just stay out of it. Just, each is who they are. You don't walk up to somebody and go, hey, it's not, you can't wear black today. What? Okay. So you didn't want to talk to me? You just want to come over and tell me what to do? And that's nonsense. Each has the right to wear it and be who they are. If there's a God, then that's what God would have deemed it. As long as we honor the basic rules where we're not intentionally trying to harm each other and not accidentally harming each other either. But the mind is its own thing. The mind gets hurt so easy, and it's impervious. So saying something that accidentally offends somebody, as long as we've thought about it and put it in context first, or are completely innocent in our presentation, that's not harming another. And that's not taking anyone's innocence. I mean, look, you see the kid shows these days. It's ridiculous, right? Because we'll all have to grow up sooner or later. And we all, technically, from our birth, are entirely grown up. Then we start to devolve from that moment forward into what the world has us to be. And then we have to get fucked up through it all to get back out through the other side, just to get back to a child. Back past kindergarten, and we get into preschool, and then we can have some fucking fun, right? 551, drink that. So, we don't know why we're here, and that is the best reason to be here. Because why would we set up a date with expectations? That's not a date at all. That's like a business. That's like trying to use each other for shit. Which, if we're using each other for stuff, it just brings us to Kali, the mother of the universe. She's taking heads. Everybody's got a skull. Shouldn't see black or white. I release all that doesn't serve me. Well, what does serve? What can we release? See, that's the question. If certain things do serve us, then what is it about following other people's expectations and beliefs about things and following in line like a bunch of robots? And a marriage can't work on that principle either. Oh, well, you can't marry me until you stop doing this. Well, then you might as well not show up. Because we're not here to control each other. It's time to be the truth of who I am. What is that? If we're not innocent, honest, playful, being who we are, playing blackjack, my bucko. Yeah, we ain't leaving. The warrior saint, I am the warrior of love, and my devotion attracts resources and support. Because I don't quit. Right? Why would the mind quit? Why would any of us quit? What are we quitting? Especially if it's this delicate balance where all the things like Christmas, for instance, okay, got all your presents, got all your toys, now you run in your corner, and now you're separate from reality. You just, in a sense, took the devil's apple. And now, you got what you wanted. So, bye. Go to your room. Me and Dad are going to do whatever we want to do, too. Now, let's look, family separated. And we spent all that money so we could sit in different rooms. Cheers to that. Or, at the other end of the spectrum, we do something that came to us naturally, faithfully, and truthfully through an angel. That was even the name of the person. And half of it was thrown away. I mean, because we don't know how we're going about things, you know? You take what you're given, and it lasts until it lasts, and it is what it is, and one moment's after the next. It's a development and progress. And what if every time you do the wrong thing, then all of a sudden now everybody's there with you? Oh, wow. That's a powerful position to be. Where everybody has the right to come in and take your head, knock your teeth out, whatever. Then they go home and sit on their Christmas tree and play like they're a good parent. It's a very delicate balance. And what's the delicate about it? What is the balance? Well, let's find out. Some emotions, or a vibe, or some traits. Give us some traits. Oh shit. I'm going to do 20 cards. Let's just take the top one there. Diligence. In the most powerful Buddhist teaching and mantra is Mani, Padme, Hum, or Hung, or Home, however you want to say it. And it's in all forms of Buddhism as one of, and the most important Buddhist teachings, in 4 simple words to say as a mantra, and it's the wish-fulfilling jewel. And diligence is the 4th one. That means not giving up. Who goes, oh, now I figured it out. Okay, now I'm gonna delete everything. I'm gonna run away, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm like, oh look, now this is me. Look, I'm fake. But that's what everybody does. Goes and changes clothes. But just to not put off to tomorrow what could be done today. Yeah, so living in the moment. But conscientious and careful attention and follow through with tasks. It's both Virgo and Gemini. And those are very opposing kind of ways to see things. And so that's a delicate balance. See, I have the, I believe it's called the Daimoku, but there's probably many different sayings for it. But I have it here. And I got it when I was 30. Not necessarily knowing everything about it. And it has been one of the things that has grown with me and to me as one of the most important things I've ever done in my life. I got it for my birthday when I was 30, I believe. And my girlfriend at the time decided to get all these different languages versions of Om down her spine right before she ran out and cheated on me. Who has a spine? I don't know. What's cheating? If we're all supposed to get back to the same spot. But so it's in Devanagari, which is the oldest. I mean, there's always that older and older and older language, right? But before Sanskrit, there was Devanagari, and it's written upside down, where now we write so that the words are on top of the line. But looking at it upside down, then heaven's here, but we're all walking on the ceiling. And so that such as this language. And it was given to me upside down so that everyone sees it inverted. And I see it direct, but it's on the other side of my arm. I have the regular Sanskrit. Yep. Sanskrit arm here. I can show it. And that's turned out, which is generosity. The God, the unity, the force, the field, the energy, always starts with generosity. Well, where does that come from? Yeah, it's just spirit, right? It just shows up and with no agenda. It just gives what it is. Then we have Om and Devanagari. Here. Generosity. Ma is morality. Who's the mother? Who's the dad? Oh, but she got with dad. Oh, but who's in control? But he had to marry her, sleep with her. Oh, but I'm the baby. Oh, like, oh, how do we balance that house out? And that's the source and the place of every family has to figure out, well, everything comes generosity. Then we have morality. That's Ma. How do we figure out what's right and wrong? That's delicate to figure out who's being a fool and how's God leading all of us if each of us is divine. It's a great question. Then you got Ni and I. Mani. Not money, but Mani. Ni is patience. Spirit comes up. Yeah. Every time. It's a piece of light, with the whole light, with the whole ground. What's the ground? I don't know. Where we are. How do we go forward from that? Then we got pa, but it's actually pod, P-A-D. So we got ma, patience, ma, pa, pa. Or, no, mani, pa. Yeah. So pod, it's a U. Look, diligence. I have patience and diligence. To keep going. Can't give up. All we did is give up. All we did is ground everything. All we did is run. 1551. May. It's M-E. Padme means love. But also, in this case, means death and renunciation. So how can love be death and giving up? Wow. There's a paradox. Om Mani Padme. The last one is wisdom, the sixth sign. And that is wisdom. How could wisdom come after love, after death, after giving up? If we're always dead. When we're in the moment, that's both love and death. And when we're away from the moment, we're by ourselves. Man, that's both love and death. When we're in between changes, yeah, that's love and death. Who could really hold on to that? I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. But then after wisdom, you learn everything. You didn't learn anything. It's all going. You gotta keep going. It's like the days. But there's no chop off like you went to sleep and you woke up. Like there's no division line, but everything's a division line. You look at the clock, oh look, it's 1734. What does that mean? I don't know. You tell me. The clock told me. So then you come back to Sanskrit. Generosity. Of and for all, everywhere. Each of us has a right to be. What are we to be? Except for that which we are. What is that? I wish I knew. My place in it all. I'm holding my place right now. And I'm not holding it. I was guided here. What was I guided by? Well, if I was making plans to go somewhere in particular, then everybody would be trying to get in the way of those plans or trying to get on board. It wouldn't be natural. So we're given creativity after diligence. But it was inverted. So we're not trying to go off course right now. And this is off course. This is creativity. Because I don't know what's going to happen next. I didn't make a plan for this. How can you fall in total and complete faith? I don't know. That's all I know. A small spark kindles a great fire. Use of imagination to produce novel or original ideas, methods, or forms. We have Aries and Capricorn. Like fire in the dark. It's an emperor. It looks like a chimera. But if you just look like a statue, oh, look, here's Constantine. Who Constantine originally, in 313 AD, had a vision of Jesus and told him how he'd win. All he had to do is make Christianity a religion instead of it being the slaves' religion. Hell, anybody can get that. Okay, fine. You guys can have a church. Fair enough. In 313, Constantine. What does that mean? I don't know. Because we're all slaves. And there is no slave. The Spirit is both guiding us and the slave of each and every as we work together, apart and together. Purity. Let the punishment fit the crime. That's interesting. Because we each punish and grant ourselves. Oh, it's parity. And that's even funnier. So, let the punishment fit the crime in parity. Fairness in treatment, proportional reaction to a stimulus or happening. It's Libra and Sagittarius. Yes, if we each have to punish ourselves, and that's the parity and the utmost purity, then, there is getting our cake and eating it too. But it doesn't look like the way it does to the world, where of a place of power, because each of us is a solitary temple and united brick with all the other beings that have a body that are bricks within one temple, but each of us is a divine light in and as of our own temple. And that's why I believe that Christ is the capstone and the cornerstone, both of the important piece that each has to get, and at the same time the piece that is something separate. It can't be, well, Jesus told me to do it, so that I have to do it. You can't really use that at the same time as, well, that's the only thing that ever gave you a right. But each has to balance it on themselves, which is where everything gets hazy, doesn't it? If we look back at the ancestry of history and how every religion, each person who was awakened being, was granted that by the image. But that makes it so each person has an ego of something that others don't have. But everyone has this. They say if you don't know if you have it, then you have it even greater. Because, well, then he's driving you. And so are you more innocent or are you more guilty? And those that didn't ask for it and it just came to them and then they got trapped in the situation, that's where we're all innocent. And if you did ask for it, but you didn't know what you were asking for, and then it arrived, then that's your thing to bear. At the same time as, well, that's not what I wanted exactly. I mean, shit. Like, anybody could close their eyes and imagine something and have it, but that's very limited as far as a life experience too. Because anyone can imagine a place that we're all together, but it doesn't mean that we're there together. And that's what we're going for. We're all can be at the same place and come out from what that XYZ axis where everyone is on the cross and free regardless. But we're all have an equal understanding and the floor's been laid. And I guess that's already been built or is what it is, and that's what we are, and that's here. Whatever that might mean to each. Let's pull a rune. See what the rune has. Right. I was just talking about the XYZ axis. Here we are. At it. Strength. Balancing both strength and force. On the 6. Ironically, as every snowflake, automatically when it's frozen becomes 6. Where each water molecule is 2 hydrogen. It's H or H2O. It's hydrogen, one ladder, and two nothing, all in nothings. But then, hey, it has to pair up. It has to create a parity to itself in order to solidify. So then it becomes a 6, and then it's solid. But the difference with that is that it breaks down at the first sense of heat. But the outer world is an inversion of the inner world. And just like stains, well, the more heat you add to a stain, the less likely it's ever coming out. And well, I guess that's all right, if that's what we're supposed to see and be speaking about right now. I don't envy. I think I can't understand. It must be impossible. I don't see how one could be a president, or in this day and age, it seems so challenging to be cornered as nobody, everyone elected, but you're in charge. But if you were in charge, you'd be doing your own thing. But what's your own thing if you need everybody to elect you? And everyone's supporting you, but you had to get enough support in order to have the money to even get to that position so that you could hold it all down by yourself. But then what are you holding? Because that's pretty challenging. And then you have to be working with everyone else. But ultimately, your life is entirely different. You don't, at that point, you're removed from the average person. Probably don't even go. You probably haven't even gone to a grocery store in 5 years. To be talking about what grocery shopping is like, and so that's a pretty strange place to be. That's like being a monk and that's been in a temple for your whole life, and then walking out and then telling everybody how shit goes. But at the same time, that's kind of where everyone's at, because each person seems to come from a singular experience, and one that's within its own confines of a reality and removed from reality as well. And that's something that's always been a bridge that's been tried to, that each has been trying to spark, to make the distance, the bridge, to get rid of the gap. But you can get rid of the gap really easy. You just close your eyes and go away, or you walk into the desert and you don't come back. That doesn't do shit. And how are you going to walk in and get everyone to work together? That's really hard too. And so then that's kind of where the concept of a president might be at, or the leader of any one thing. And everyone, it's like, well, we're doing all the work. Yeah, it seemed like you were doing all the work, but how'd you get the position without the leader? And that is the paradox we all have to deal with. Let's see here. Let's get a state of change. We got without entanglement in reverse. Yes, we're all tangled together. There's no removing any one of us or anyone's experience from any other. There's no just deciding that any one thing can be removed. That's hiding. That's deceitful. And that's very much of I don't know how to put it. Creating success from the source. Constancy or consistency bears fruit. One who is not upright commits blunders, and it is fruitless to have a direction to go. But what's a blunder? If you're always entangled and you're never entangled, and it all goes together, and creating success from the source, you always stay true. That's all I got here to work with. That's all any of us have to work with. What's shame? Shame, I think shame kind of is going back upon yourself and not trusting in divine and timing and in yourself and being a part of it all and it all working together. And so I don't believe really in shame too much. But I also have certain basic beliefs of not really judging or harming anyone. Even those who've hit me, I didn't just strike them back out of reflex because I care more about my own life and theirs than they could. And that sets a protection upon both parties. Fear sets it up so, and what hits me, or if I think I'm in danger, I'm gonna have my gun. I'll be ready to drop their life. And that's the end of the plank where nobody can stand. The one that's dead to all. Because we could never take another life. Not in good conscience. Even if the other one could kill me. There's no power position or strength from that position of using that as an excuse. So we got here. And what is it to kill? If we're always at the end of our own gun. So we're patient. We wait for things to come together. As it says. I'm currently asked and told that I'm supported by the Sisterhood of the Rose. But I have the Star Mother in reverse. So how can I dad? Having no dad. And having no dad. Yeah. No with a K and W. I guess we're back to knee. Patience. Patience. Grasshopper. Patience. We're given the balance of both love and creativity in reverse. And the 8th house of endings and beginnings in the middle. Where there is no ending, there is no beginning. All things are moving forward as it already was, like a constellation or like the solar system. But what's love and what's creativity if that's all that has been? At the same time, everything is working in accordance to a divine plan. And that's where everything gets hung up on and fearful of how do we go forward and what's the plan? Okay, we can't just fly by the seat of our pants, but we can't come up with a plan that doesn't include everyone. But who's everyone? It's just me here. How is everyone going to support me? If it was up to that, I'd already be dead. At the same time as now everyone took part in all of the things. So how can everyone leave me out? And how could I make a plan that I don't know what it means? That's where Dad's sitting at right now. I don't know why this being live makes me feel awkward. I suppose that's good. That's why, see, we're balancing spirit and life and death. Doubly so. And fair and fearless Lee at 3551. Just speaking our piece. Roll with punches. If you know better, there's a million ways to reach me. Everyone knows where I live. Everyone knows my phone number, my email address, probably my credit card numbers, everything about me. Or if they don't, well, they're better off. So I'm continually having forces around me telling me, don't ever quit. Let go. Stop right now. Just move on. Change. No, change. Don't change. You can't change. You have to stay. But you have to go. Well, how are we going to do that? From Pluto, from resurrection. If every moment is another resurrection of the past, getting to the heart of, and do or die, you must. Love, live, exist. And be the best part of the constellation, of the collective, as you can be, as you are. I've had so many dreams about the future. It includes so many people. So far, none of them have come true. And they've all came true in an awkward way. But without my body, everyone's left my body behind. So I'm wondering how that works in. If I can't separate the mind from the body, in all mind is in all things. All things, what are things? If the mind is a thing, cards are a thing, the table's a thing, my body's a thing, my finger's a thing. And how can one climb out of such a pit? I'm trying to find how it's possible. Pluto in the 4th house we're given. What makes you feel secure? Yeah, what makes you feel secure? Is it running away? Is it being in denial? Not looking someone eye to eye? Not being out in the open? Being able to hide your face? Hide your words? Have it all separately? I don't know what those things really are like. It says support your home base or family. That's what I'm here doing, to the best of my ability. Whatever that means. On my own. I've never been on my own. I've been dead and never born. And all beings separate since the day I was born. And everyone saw me coming. And everyone who was hidden knew ahead of time. But everyone who saw me in real life somehow saw a reflection in that. Pushed off of me or called to me. So how can I ever get home? How can I ever be born? How can I ever not be what I've been created as a magical being, as if every single one of us isn't a magical being, as if every single one of us isn't the exact, but what is exact? You find myself, I'm in this position, but everyone can understand it. I didn't know what I was looking for. I don't know. I can never tell if nature was fulfilling me, if it was my own mind manifesting it, if it was human beings intervening. So, God help us all. They put it on me, but I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We're given tower it. Tower it. Genesis at 24. And we stone everybody to death. Let everybody live. Start everything over from scratch without starting anything over. Scratch is all we got, right? Tower it. Well, I've just been guided to meditate and help everything change. So that's when we're wrapped up for now. See you later.